Hello and welcome to 8 Minutes with 8 executives in the healthcare space here at Bell Potter's Healthcare Conference for 2025. I'm Grady Wulff, Market Analyst with Bell Direct, and what better way to kick off the year after a reporting season than talking to a wide variety of different healthcare executives, from cancer treatments to wound healing to many different spaces and technologies, even operating in the heart. We're excited to bring to you 8 Minutes with 8 executives, so let's dive straight in. And I'm joined today by legal counsel Ebru Davidson. Now, QBiotics is an Australian life sciences company that specialises in cell signalling small molecules. To explain more about the company that is possibly eyeing off a listing soon, Ebru, tell us about the company for our investors who may not know of who QBiotics is.
Well, firstly, thanks Grady for having me here. It's a pleasure. QBiotics is an unlisted public company.
Yeah.
We are headquartered in Brisbane, Queensland. We're a clinical stage life sciences company currently with 2 assets in clinical trials. Our lead asset is in oncology, Tigalinol Tiglate.
Yeah. Oh wow, what a name.
Tigalinol Tiglate is in phase 2 clinical trials in 2 indications. That's in head and neck cancers and soft tissue sarcomas.
Yeah.
It's an intratumoral drug, so it's injected directly into the tumour. Our second asset is in wound healing. We call it EBC 1013. That is currently recruiting for patients in venous leg ulcers. So we opened that trial late last year. It's recruiting across multiple sites in Australia.
Orthocell is developing world-leading regenerative medicine or device products to unlock the body's power to heal itself, to restore mobility, function and performance. So I'm excited today to be joined by Paul Anderson, Managing Director and CEO. Paul, for our investors who may not know the story of Orthocell and the Remplia product, can you give us a brief overview of what it is up to?
Yeah, so Orthocell's focused on regenerative medicine, and particularly for what we call musculoskeletal medicine. And our focus as a company has been on both bone, nerve and tendon tissue.
Wow.
Our first product to market was for bone regeneration, but the really exciting product that we have in the portfolio, and one we're leading with, is a product called Remplia, which is in French means to fill, and we're using that product to join nerves together. And we're using that product to join nerves together by negating the use of sutures, or in fact replacing the use of sutures. So our product wraps around the nerve and helps join it together in a more efficient and faster way than was ever done before.
With a familiar face today, Alan Taylor, the Executive Chairman of Grady Pharmaceuticals, a clinical stage company developing products to address the growing need for radiopharmaceuticals in oncology. So a massive name, a name that investors might be familiar with over the last 12 months, the share price running red hot. Alan, tell us about what you've been up to in the last 12 months and for our investors who may not know the Grady story.
Yeah, sure. So Clarity's a great Australian story.
I love it.
Homegrown, right from the bench top. Down this way, actually, University of Melbourne, derived, and it's in this fascinating area of radiopharmaceuticals. This is a big topic now of targeted therapies. We want to target cancers the best we can. We want to image them, find them first, and then treat them. And we can do that all, when we're talking about Grady Pharmaceuticals, with one molecule. We can do imaging and treat with one molecule just by changing the different isotope.
And I'm thrilled to be joined now by John McCutcheon, the CEO and President of EBR Systems. Now, for those who don't know EBR Systems, it's a company aiming for outstanding treatment of cardiac rhythm disease through its innovative leadless therapy. Now, that's a bit of a mouthful there, John.
Yes,
tell us about what the therapy is and about the company as a whole for our investors who don't know.
Great. Thanks, Grady. Thanks for having me. So EBR Systems developed a leadless pacemaker for the left ventricle of the heart.
Wow.
And what makes it special is we have a very tiny implant. We say it's the size of a grain of rice.
So you can't even see it.
It's really tiny. And that goes inside the heart in the left ventricle, and it actually paces the heart. We energize it remotely using ultrasound energy. So we don't need leads or wires that go into the heart. Pacemakers, the standard pacemakers, have these leads or wires, and those are typically the biggest problem of these devices. They break, they migrate, they can get infected and cause a lot of problems. So we get around all that by having this leadless technology.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about, for our investors who may not know about Neuren, about what the company's achieved over the last 12 months?
Oh, sure. So the last 12 months has been huge for us. We've become very, very profitable. more than $140 million of profit in the last 2 years. And that drug hitting the market is the first ever treatment for Rett syndrome. Big moment for us.
It's amazing.
And we have big plans for the future off the back of it. So.
Yeah, so you have partnered with EBR Pharmaceuticals in the US and for the rest of the world now, Europe as well, I believe.
Yep.
They did bring out their quarterly results last week. Can you tell us about what you thought about the sales of DAYBUE last week?
Yeah, well, look, it was a record quarter of sales, so
Perfect.
$97 million US dollars for the quarter.
Wow.
Which made $350 odd million of sales for the year.
Wow.
And it also had, continued the trend of sequential growth across all 4 quarters for the year.
So I'm so thrilled to have you here today, Leslie. Thanks for joining me.
It's great to be here with you today.
Now, you do have a number of different clinical development trials and assets going on right now. Now, it's fair to say the most advanced and the most excitement is around the Orthocell and phase 1B study currently enrolling patients. Can you tell us about this and why the market's so interested in it?
That's right. So Orthocell is a CAR T, and I know these are very complicated science, a chimeric antigen receptor T cell. Basically what that means is it re-engineers your T cells to go after a certain target. So it completely reprograms your cells so that it understands and sees a certain kind of cancer. In this case, it's called diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. It's a type of blood cancer.
Yeah.
And we have treated 7 patients with this particular combination.
Yeah.
And we have basically completely cleared their tumors, 4 out of the 7.
Now, let's first start with the company itself. For our investors who may not know Immutep, can you give us a brief overview of what the company is about?
Sure. Immutep is a listed biotech company. We're active in oncology as well as in autoimmune diseases. We have been pioneering the so-called X3 space. It's an important immune checkpoint since years. Yeah. We are now in phase 3 stage, 5 programs in total, and very excited about our future.
It's a big year, and phase 3, as we know, is a pivotal year for lots of companies, so now you're there yourself. So let's start with your lead drug candidate, FD. The company, it's a range of cancer trials right now, but one in particular is a lung cancer trial. Can you talk to us about this trial and what results you're seeing so far?
Yeah, first of all, we have now started a phase 3 clinical trial. That's typically the last step before we get registered. And we try to achieve nothing less than to set a new standard of care in this terrible disease. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer death.
Wow.
And this clinical trial is actually done not only by us, but in collaboration with Merck. So a worldwide leading pharmaceutical company, absolutely huge.
Well, there you have it. It's a very exciting 2025 for many of our executives and companies operating in the listed and unlisted space, as we've just seen in 8 Minutes with 8 Executives. I hope you enjoyed this series and follow along for more interviews coming in the next 12 months.